Hello dear viewers, welcome to a new tutorial from Logi Tutorials presented by me, Sami Khiami. In this session we are going to continue working on the game that we were working on in the last session, and we are going to continue on the functionalities of adding scores, having the health bar added, and adding extra functionalities. So we will be postponing, like sharpening and smoothing the functionalities till the end. Like we will have another pass over all the functionalities just to make sure that this is working as expected to be like a playable game in a good way. But for now we are going to only go very fast on creating those functionalities, putting that there just to have a like the strategy on how to create those functionalities and how to implement those functionality as part of the game creation process. So I will switch directly to Scratch. Uh, Yep. And we are at that level. And if you remember at the previous, I'll focus more on my face here. So if you remember at the previous session, we did create that bar, score, and the virtual joystick, that button to shoot, the anthem, and the score, like only the score label. So what we are going to start with is creating the score, like how to implement creating the score directly and put it as part of the game, and also to be able to create the health bar for our main character. And let's start. So first I will go and start by the score. You remember we created a separate video to be able to create the score writer. So I'll create something for that purpose directly. I'll go and create another sprite, and I'll call it digit digit or instead of scored, because it will be like generic. We will use it to write anything. Digit like creator or writer. Okay. And this is the sprite itself. So with that sprite, as you remember, we need to have from 0 to 9 just to be able to write everything there. So we can just import anything available as part of the sprites in Scratch, or we can create our own, or we can amend the thing that is there. So we can start by text here. So what I will do, I'll create a text, and I'll start by 0, changing the size for it and the color, the fill color. I'll make it maybe red. This is the usual, or yellow. Normally, if we are collecting some kind of collectibles, those collectibles will have the yellowish type of color. So 0, I'll make it bigger a little bit just to be able to see it. 0. Okay, I'll make it smaller later on, but for now I think we are okay. So 0, like let's have that duplicated, duplicate 1, let's name it directly 0, 1. Oops, why is that? It seems that while I create it, I flip it, and this is I don't want to do. So let's delete it, create that again, and set 0, and make it bigger, push it to the middle, and duplicate, and that would be 1, sorry. So I'll go fast on that. 2, let's make that 1, 2, 0, and that 2, duplicate 3, duplicate 4. You can create your own type of, like, those are boring type of digits, so you can create your own stylish ones, but just to do things faster, like duplicate 5. I'm using the default like font on that. Duplicate 6, duplicate 7, duplicate 8, and duplicate 9, and that's it. We're here. So we have our numbers now. The next step is to create the writer, like the block that will be writing those numbers, the digits. So I will go to the code itself. I'll go directly to create a block. Make a block. This is easier. And just to use it at any time we want to stamp or like write a digit, I will name it like digit writer, or write number, and I need the number that I want to write. Let's name it here number to write, and I'll add another one. I will name it this will be where I want to write that, so X and Y for the place where I want to have that done. I will add something for the spreading, like what's the spacing between digits, digit spacing, okay, digit spacing, okay, and last one for the full size, how like big those digits should be size. I think we don't need anything else, hopefully not. Okay, now the next step, we will need some internal type of variable to be able to control some of the stuff here. So what we will need is to go, you remember the functionality was to jump from one digit to another in that string, in that number, and to stamp that number. So the steps for stamping, I added through the extension. You know that pen functionality is not included in the scratch tree, so I already added the pen, so you can just click here, add it to your blocks, so you will be able to use it. So the steps to do that is just to be able to pass that number, say pen down, stamp, pen up. Okay, you just for that specific, and you should go to the number that you want to stamp. So I will go to look, and I'll say switch custom to, and custom should be switched to that specific digit that I want to write. But that digit will be part of the full number that I want to write. So we need a kind of loop that to loop through those numbers to be able to get that. So to do that loop, I will have a loop, and this loop will repeat for a specific times, which is the how long is that number to write. So to get how long is how many character in that number, so I'll go to the operator and I'll get the length here. Okay, so I might need to go like one extra. We will see like extra one, so we will see how to do that. We might need to add one, but for now we will keep that one, and we use number. We'll use number to write to be able to decide how many loops that we want to go to do that thing. And we need also to know the exact number that we are going to stamp. So to be able to do that, we should use that one, letter 1 from Apple, letter 2 from Apple, letter 3 from Apple. So for that we need to have some kind of counter that just to like help us to jump from one digit to another. So I will call it current digit place. I will name it current digit place. So I'll go to variable and make variables, and it should be local. Oh, oops, what did I do? Local current digit space, or not space, place. Okay, so we have that now. So we use that to count. So first thing we will put that current digit place is 0, or this is the and each time we move we will add it 1. So we will need to say something, change by 1 each time we finish stamping a specific number. And to get that specific number in that place, we need to use that approach here. So to store the number that is in that specific place, I will use another variable called current digit. Okay, just to differentiate between the current digit and current digit placed. The place is which digit in the number itself, like the first, the second, the third, etc. But the current digit is the number itself inside that space. Okay, so we will be using that, and we will set that to 0 to I'm sorry, we cannot set that to 0. This will be set current digit to the letter number current digit place in the full number, in our full number, because in that specific place we have of the number, we have that current digit. Then we use the current digit here to stamp it, current digit. So we will drag that current digit here, and I think we are almost done. Let's try that. We need extra stuff, digit spacing. Whenever we are done with with that specific like digit, we need to jump for specific space for the digit not overwrite each other. So we will first, at the beginning, we will move to the x and y that we specified, which is x here and y here. And then each time that we stamp a digit, we need to move a little bit, which is like change x by, and this will be digit spacing. Okay, just to move a little bit to to write the next digit. Okay, the size, this is something that we should specify before stamping. So I will go to look here, set size to, and this is something generic for everything, so it will not be changing between digits. So it can be outside that loop. So I will go set size to size. Okay, let's try to write something. So here I will say when I click that green button, green flag, go to the blocks, write number, and that number should be, as example, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I'm using that number just to differentiate stuff, not having any confusion. And this will be starting to be written at, as example, minus 160 with minus 160. Okay, and the size should be 1, and the digit spacing is 15. Let's try now. If we run that, you see this is the digit looking here, and I see here 2, 3. Like, let's move it up a little bit. Let's make it bigger a little bit. 3 here. Stop. Okay, one of the things that we might think of doing is just to clean everything. So we use erase all just as in the beginning, just to make sure that we are not overloading anything. And this is small. Why this is too small? Set size to, okay, 3%. Maybe he took it as 3%. We should like make it like 100 or 50%. Okay, this is too small. Okay, now the numbers are there. 5. What's that? Let's raise it a little bit up. So this is the y, so let's minus 150 or 130 just to see it better. Again, run. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. What's that? So first we need at the end we need to hide our last number. So because that number is the one used with stamping. So the last 5 here is not an issue because we can just go and say hide here. But what worries me is the first one. So let's try now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay, but the first one is 5. Why the first one is 5? Because we're starting current digit from current digits place. Okay, we're missing the 6. We're missing the 6. So one of the things we are counting to length. You remember we count to length number to right, but since we are starting from 0, we need to count to length plus 1. So let's add 1 to this. Let's go to operator, add 1 here, plus 1, and I think that will help to show that number 6 thing. Yes, but still having that 5 showing at the beginning. Why is that? Because we didn't set we didn't switch the custom first to that first one. So let's, before starting anything, duplicate. Oh, oops. Let's switch custom to. First, we need to switch custom to the first one before writing anything. So pen down, stamp, pen, current digit. And current digit here with the first one. Current digit here with the first one is current digit with the first one is what? Let's start current digit. Also set current digit to a number. Current digit, set current digit to 02. Okay, let's have a 6 blah 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 blah. So the first cycle is repeating, is doing something. So the number of repetition, like, we don't need that extra one. It seems that even that one we don't need it. But why we're starting from 6? Again, this is confusing. I'm sorry, but yeah. Still want to start by setting why the stamping is starting. We need to repeat it a specific number of times, but that pen down is happening for the first, like for the last digit first. 6, where that is coming from. Where current digit place is 0. Current digit, we cannot set the current digit to that one. So current digit is current digit place, and we cannot set the current digit place to 0. This is wrong. Current digit place is 1. and then we can start that again. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, perfect, because we're starting from 1 now. Everything is working just fine. So our score is working now. Sorry, I needed to do that debugging. This is good practice. But now we have our score stamped. So what we will do is also having that score stamped, but we need to stamp that over that score bar. Okay, so for the score bar itself, we can do something just to make it like one time, like appear only one time and just not be floating over stuff all the time. We can do something like go blah 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 ghost, and then we use pen down and stamp, pen up and hide. Let's see how that is working. Dim. Oops, disappeared. Pen down, stamp, pen up, and hide. Okay, this is not working. Pen down, stamp, pen up, hide. Oops. Did I miss anything here? Did I miss anything? Score bar. Let's remove that ghost effect. Like, let's go to front and let's keep that ghost effect. Try now. Okay, let's remove that hide thing. Still, why that disappeared? We're sending that to the front score bar. It's still there, but it moved back, even though we're sending that. Okay, why that is disappearing? It should be stamped when clicked. So let's try to do that directly here without any effect. Prior, we are cleaning because we are clearing. We add that. Sorry, we add the erase all thing. We should have that repeated, otherwise it will be disappearing after the erase. Okay, and this thing is erasing, so which is something that we don't want to do if we are not rewriting that in a loop. Okay, so erase all shouldn't be applied unless we have like something that is rewriting our content. Okay, so for that we need, if we need to do erase all, we need to have that done with something that is repeating the rewriting. So let's try now. I think this will work now for sure, and we have our number here and everything here. So this is for our score. We don't need to change our background here, and if we don't want, if we want to do that, we can just do the rewrite thing. So for that purpose, I will move my score a little bit to the right place. So this will be minus 130, this one minus 160, and minus 140. I think that will be fine. No, still minus 100. No, minus 90 or 80. Also still 60. Okay, I think the score is okay. We need to make it a little bit smaller. I'll go with 30%. Yeah, looks good. And you see that we even can do some kind of special effect with using that approach here, even using some kind of transparency and stuff, and we can just play with it. So for that one, we are okay with the score. we need, if we, as mentioned, if we need to use erase all, we need to find a way just for that thing to be regenerated or redrawn each time. We can say refresh each time we do that thing. We can throw a refresh. So what I will do here, I will go forever, or I will, instead of one click, I will do that once here, and I will hide it. Then I will say something. If I receive a message called refresh, so when I received refresh, everything should be updated, like redrawn again. So I will duplicate again here, and with that, when a refresh is applied, we should be using like erase all, and everything should be redrawn. So here I'll copy that also here, score bar. Okay, so now if I use erase all as example somewhere, so I will be using erase all at the beginning of the game. And even don't even need to do that here. Let's use that one. So I will use here at the beginning of the game, I'll use refresh. Maybe here. I will use throw, let's say throw, or broadcast refresh. Okay, let's try that. Oh, okay, before that I need to erase all. Erase all, erase all. Da 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 da. You see, the erase all, refresh. Oh, this is repeating. I'm sorry. We shouldn't put that as part of the repeated thing. We can make it here. Okay, looks fine. Now something. Okay, the erase all should be here. Then broadcast refresh. Erase all, broadcast. I think like erase all is coming after I draw the score bar. We should find a way to manage that. So maybe to separate refresh score from refresh the score bar. So let's create two messages. New message. Refresh score bar. Refresh score bar. And another one. I'll repeat that one. Duplicate. Refresh. New message. Refresh the score. Okay, so separate those two. Why I'm doing that, because like the score bar should be drawn, then we draw over it the score, so it will be obvious. You should understand that as stamping approach. So with that in mind, we should like first erase, then to draw the bar, then to draw the number. So what I will do here, I will remove for the score bar, if received instead of refresh, if you received refresh score bar, and for that one, if you receive refresh score, and that's it. Okay, why that is happening? Also, we lost our score bar. Maybe our score bar is hidden, so we need to show looks. Show, hide. this is working. We don't have problem with that one. Why changing this one? We need to change the score bar itself. And with the score bar itself, what's that? Oh, this score bar thing is rewriting. No, we don't want that at all. The score bar should be stamping the score bar itself. So this is not when clicked, this is when I receive. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused on that. When I receive refresh score bar, those should happen. Oh, now it's working for sure. I'm sorry, this is confusing. Okay, now I have my stuff ready. Everything is there, like my character is working just fine. I'll need to make it bigger here. I can escape the stuff. I have my score. Now I need to add the score as a value. So I need to add the score as a value. So I'll add a variable named score. So make variable, and that variable should be seen by everybody. Score. Okay. This is game score. Okay. And mainly like the game score should be the number that is shown here. So what I will do, instead of writing here any number, so I will say here go to digits, and I will throw here the score. So for now the score is 0, but I think I need to move it a little bit to the right too. So minus 40. Again, too much, minus 50 is good. Minus 50. Our score is ready, everything is ready. We are okay with most of the stuff here. Again, stop, go, and we're moving our stuff. Our score is 0. Now we need to allow some damage. So when the virus is created, we need to have some kind of, if something hit that person, or we can separate the damage and health from the scoring function. So now we are not scoring. If we hit one of those using our like enzyme, so we need to add score. So what I will do here in the enzyme itself, I'm throwing the enzyme, so it is moving till it touch edge, or I will add here operator or, so it will be deleted if I touch edge or touch something else. But I can separate that by adding score when I hit one of those viruses. So let's say here, if the enzyme hit virus, so I will go here when I start as a clone. Forever, if touching, let's add another if to that cycle. No need to add something else. If I add if I touching, let's go to sensing, touching, and touching what? Touching a virus. If I'm touching a virus, so please delete that enzyme and add score. Delete enzyme and add score, and throw. We should be adding that to the virus to disappear. So let's say change variable, change score by 1. Change score by 1, and we need to delete that specific enzyme. So I will say delete. Go to control and delete this clone. And now each time an enzyme hits one of the viruses, that virus will disappear. No, not disappear yet. We will get extra score. So it's not disappearing yet. Let's start that. happening here. Let's start again, going there. Okay, score 3, so I'm hitting like this is good. And I need to get rid of that virus. So for the virus itself, I should say when I start as a clone, this is moving that one. But if I touch an enzyme, that clone should disappear. So if here we're touching an enzyme, so touching, sensing here, touching an enzyme, we should be disappearing, like delete this clone. I'm having problem here, as you saw, that I cannot shoot in any other direction because like the main direction is switched back all the time to the right direction. So whenever I leave the virtual keyboard, virtual joystick, it is turning to the right directly. I should have an ability to keep my current direction. So let's explore that before going to the bar itself. So let's stop that and let's explore the handle again. So when else is happening, go base, set white cell speed to 0. And when the speed is set to 0, like this, the enzyme, the white cell, point direction. Okay, so like when the speed is 0, the direction of the that small piece there is changing again. So what I need to do is to separate. You remember we're depending on the orientation of that orientation, like orientation shape that we added. I don't remember what was the orientation pointer that we added. So and that will be going back always to the 0 when there's no, like when the both the handler is going to the base directly. So what we will be doing is managing to hold on in that to that number to keep it. So we will not be like pushing that to 0. So if it is moving, we want to change. If it is turned back, we want the orientation not to be affected. So let's go back to the orientation code. So we are saying point forever toward handle, but what I will do, I will say if this is not just not to affect the character, if our speed is 0, if speed equals 0, not equal 0, let's say not, I'm sorry, if speed equals 0, do not point toward handler. So if it is not equal 0, it should point to the handler. So 0, and the speed, where's that speed thing? So the speed will go from 0 to, so let's use bigger than instead of using that thing. So bigger than 0, speed, where's that speed? Okay, white cell speed is current, and let's try that. Okay, now we're moving to, oh, oops. So again, we're saying if white speed is greater than 0, white cell speed. So move toward handler. Again. What's happening? Nothing. Okay. Point toward handler. Okay, we didn't add this here. Okay. Let's try now. So now it's working. We're keeping our direction. Yep. And you notice that when we are hitting the virus, we are gaining. Oh, nothing is happening. Why we're not gaining any points? No points. The enzyme touching virus. If touching virus, change score by delete the clone. Okay. I think we should be adding some kind of refreshing for the score itself. Refresh score. Let's add refresh score thing. Where's that refresh score? Send message refresh score variable. Let's send that message refresh score, because this is stamping. I always forget that when you do that you should be doing some kind of refresh. So refresh score here. Now that effect will be direct when we hit some virus. That should give us directly an effect. We're having a problem, I think. 27, 28, 29, 30. No, we're good. 31, 32, blah, blah, blah. Each time we're hitting something. I think we're having problem on having lots of viruses at the same time, and why the virus is not disappearing. Why the virus is not disappearing. Okay, escape. Those viruses should be disappearing. So this is not happening. Why is that? Going back to the virus itself. So we say that when I start as a clone, if touching enzyme, then delete clone. So I think that we should go with like I think that the enzyme is deleted before throwing the okay. So here, when we are broadcasting refresh score and delete the clone, we didn't send anything to the virus to kill himself. So I think touching enzyme, delete clone. So, but when he's touching enzyme, he's disappearing, he's deleting himself directly, but he doesn't have the time, enough time to delete himself. So let's wait a little bit before deleting that clone. Let's give some kind of wait here. Wait, 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 wait. Before deleting that clone, like 0.2. Let's try that. Okay, let's escape those viruses. Aim and shoot. Okay, it's working now. Because it seems that it's very important to understand that lots of stuff are working in the same time. So we need to make sure the sequence is the right sequence. Okay, this is happening. Good. So one of the things that we might think of doing at the beginning of the at the start of the game to set the score to 0. So set score to 0. So we'll have that 0 number, then to collect those scores when we hit those viruses. Okay. I know this is like the control is not that smooth, and I feel that it's a little bit heavy, but we will be resolving that at the when we finish from the game as whole, like just to smooth everything and finalize the most important stuff there. So one of the things that I'm noticing each time I like repeat that, sometimes the handler is disappearing even though I'm using go to front layer. So that depends on the time where the handler is executed. So this is again another thing. So I might think of pushing that even inside that forever. This will be prevent anything from throwing back that handler back. So it will be always up there. Nothing will affect the handler. Good. Okay. Now, let's move to the last item in that session, which is the health bar. We need to have that white cell has health, and it will be affected when it is touched by the virus, like lose some energy, and based on that lose some lives. So we need to have two things. Let's start by having make variable called lives. I'm a little bit hesitated, like lives. Let's make it public. Lives. Okay, and let's have also the health for that one. Also make variable, and I think for that one should be like internal health. We can change it to external if we need to do that. I'm just a little bit hesitated to do that as internal or external. Let's keep it that way, health internal. Okay, so I need to, as you remember in the session when we display, like when we describe how to create a score bar, like we can do it both way. We can do it with the way using the stamp, similar to what we do with the score, and we can do it in a different way, similar to like it will be a bar with more than one step in it, and we can select the custom based on the amount of the health. Both way can go like okay, but it's up to you just to decide what to do. I, and this is something that we will see later on. We will check maybe and do some comparison which one will be like in what one in which one the performance will be better. But for now, I'll go with the approach of using the same approach, the stamp approach. Or maybe let's use the approach of having the score bar. Like I think that will be better in a way. I'm not sure. No, let's go with the stamp thing. Let's go with the stamp thing. I'm not very sure, like if I'm going to use that, but it seemed to be a good idea. But again, I need to show that in the upper right corner of our character or over our character. I'll go with the approach. I'm sorry, I'm changing my mind a lot depending on the case and how I'm going to show that. So I'll go with the approach of having that as a sprite. So only that sprite of this type, like this, with a gray background. I feel that this will be a lot more elegant. Okay, and again another one. See, Control V, smaller. And that would be a white one. And then we might think that it's better just to get it rounded. It's up to you. Like, and we will be getting that one as totally empty, and we will name that 0. And then duplicate, that will be 10. And with that one we will create Control C, Control V, and we will see, we will get that to be 1 here, and that is green. I feel that approach is much more elegant than the other one. This is what I think, at least. And it helps me with the transparency and where I want to show that. So maybe this should be a little bit darker. Okay, so this is for 1, this is for 10%, and duplicate 20, and that should be replicated. And then duplicate 30, Control V, da. 40%, duplicate 40%, and again 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think a better approach was to like create everything then delete. I'm not that. Let's do that here. C, Control V. This is a little bit faster. not suffer with that each time. Again, and this will help us also to decide if this is the right size. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to delete everything. Just keeping that one. Control C, Control V. Maybe I'll keep a little bit of space between those, just to show more space here. CV, Control C, Control V. Also going back a little bit, this is down. Again, Control C, Control V. We already created that before. You remember, you can just see the alternative, the other one, and you can choose whatever method you like to use. But for me, I feel that this is the best one for me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and another 2. Yep, I think we're good. And I will, with that, I can just make that smaller, this smaller, and I'm thinking of even making that a little bit wider here, and from the other side, and from this side too, and for that one to be also a little bit bigger. And I might change that to dark green. Let's try if this is better. Is that better in a way? No. We'll go the dark green. I think the dark green is better, but I think we can use it just by changing the color of everything to dark green. So what I will do here, this is 10%, so I will remove even that one, delete, and I'll duplicate that one. So that one will be with all and everything done to this color, the 0%, so this will be dark green. Okay. And now for the light green, so for that one I'll be selecting this one to be, this is 20%, so I'm sorry, this is 0%, this should be 0%, and this is 10%, so everything except the first one should be dark. Darker. Is that a good thing? Let's try it when it is much smaller, 10%. 25%. Oops. I'm sorry, I'm changing my mind a lot, but this, like, the lighter one seemed to be much better, like, because it will be much smaller. And yeah, this is why going with the approach of having everything to light green is better. So sorry for that, lots of change. So I'm going that way here, and for the external one it should be white as mentioned. I think this is much better. Okay. Okay, for that I will duplicate. So this duplicate, and that will be 0%. So I'll be deleting all those in addition to this one. Oh, sorry. Without this one and this one here. Oops. I'll be deleting everything here except for the first one. This is, oops. This is should be 1% or 10%. Next, I'll duplicate that, duplicate, 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 and duplicate, and duplicate, duplicate. So this is 1%, 10%. This is 20%. 20%, and for 20% I will remove everything except those two. Uh, 30%, everything except for those three. %, everything except the 4. %. %. And 7%. 8%. I'll change that to 80, 70, etc. And this will be 8%. That bigger a little bit. Should do that earlier. Okay. I think within 10% will be the complete one. And I'll go back and I will create the 0% duplicate. I'll make that 0%, and that should be totally empty. And now this is the 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, oops, we're having a problem here. Okay, this one should be 100, this is 90, this is 80, 70, this is 70, this is 60, this is 50, and this is 40, 30, 20, and 10. Sorry for that. That took lots of time. Anyway, now going back to the code, and that sprite, I'll name that the health bar. Okay. And for that health bar, the health bar will have the same like coordination as the coordinates as the white cell. So what I will do, I will say here directly forever, and I'll move it directly to that place with a small like movement or sliding. So I will move it to go to the white cell, and just move it a little bit to the right or the left. So what I will do, I will move it to the right, upper right. So let's say here, change X, or let's do that. Let's move it, go to directly, and sense the X. This is about the white cell. Where's that white cell? White cell position X, and duplicate that. White cell position Y, but not exactly that position, so we need to add some to that one. So it will be that position plus, we're moving it a little bit to the right, so plus maybe 10 or 20. Let's try that, and I'll duplicate that, throw that away, and this is the Y position, and the Y position should be minus, not plus, so this will not be good. So let's use minus because it's higher. It will be plus. That, sorry. So duplicate that again. Duplicate. So the X is higher and the Y is higher. So this is the Y. Also, let's try that. X position, Y position, and this is whenever we click that button here, and this is forever. Control, forever. Let's try. Make it bigger. But this shouldn't be visible all the time. Like this should be visible only when like something change on the health, and this should be following the health approach. So I will say go to custom, like each time go to custom, and switch custom to and health. Where's that health? Did we add the health variable? Health. I remember we add the health variable. Okay, but the health variable was an internal one. This is why I will go to the white cell again and remove that health here, delete, and go to the and to create another one, make variable, and make it health available to everybody. Health. So this is why I was a little bit hesitated about that. So it will be accessible. We can resolve that problem, but still. And the health is here now, and since the health is 100% or whatever, we can make it. I think health now. We can set health at the beginning to set health to 100%. 100. Okay. Let's try to set health to 90 and see if this is make any difference. Oops. 90. Oh, 9, 11. Nope. I suggest we put that to 100 and then we will check our health bar. So switch custom to health. It should, like, based on the customs that we added, this should fit. 0, 1, 10. Okay, 9. What's that? 10, 20. Whoa, when that was changed. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 90, 80, I'm sorry, 80, 90, and 100. Let's try now. This is 100. Let's try to change health. Where's health here? Health. Okay, we cannot change it by 1. We should change it by 10th, so it's okay. Like whenever any virus hit our character, we will like change by 10. So this will resolve the problem because we don't have like in that one. So or we can just do that to health and like make it depending on like converting that to the nearest 10. This is doable too. We don't want that for now because, as I mentioned, the change will be 10th. So let's say here if a virus hit the white cell, so we are going to destroy that virus and like destroy the virus. We don't need to destroy it. No, we will just go lower with the health of that. So if touching, let's say here the white cell, if again, if touching, where's that if here, if touching virus, if touching any virus, change health by change health by -10. Now we should add another if that will control that we will not be like changing health and the health will be like in a negative value. If health is bigger than 0, so if health is bigger than 0, so we go here, bigger than 0, health is bigger than 0. So okay, go -10. Else change lives by -1 and do what? change life by -1 and set health to 100 again. Okay, but also inside that one, if lives is greater than 0 too, so we should check if again, if, and this should be moving here, the lives, number of lives, where's lives? I'll duplicate that, just easier. If lives is greater than 0, go with life -1, then blah blah blah. Else, I should announce that the game end game, and I will throw where's that? Broadcast new message, game over. Okay, this is just something to show, and in the beginning of the game we should have 3 lives set. Also, I will set the lives to 3, set lives to 3. Okay, let's try now. We are running away. If a virus hit us, let's try to see what's happening. Nothing is happening. Why? If touching a virus, this is here, and we're saying okay, we are here and this is here. That should be the thing that we are doing. Okay, now it's working. Now we're running away, like now we're touching a virus. Oh, oops, the virus is changing our health by 10th, -10th. Why is that? Why nothing is happening here? Okay, if the health is like this, if touching, so with that, why it's changing, change lives, change health, and change health by -10, and health is 100. So I'll go to the viruses and make sure that the number of viruses is lower. This is the complexity of the game. I think I set that as the complexity, game complexity. Where did I set that? In the viruses, game complexity. Let's make it only 2 viruses. I want just to make sure that we're doing things the right way. Okay, that is the virus. And I'm touching that virus now. Oops, why it's going that fast? And the health is going to 100. This is changing vice versa. I don't like this. I guess this is changing, but why this is changing starting from 0 and going up? Let's go again back to our health bar, customs. Doesn't seem to be problematic in any way. Okay, let's try to see again. Like this is moving. Okay, it's changing by 1. Why it's changing by 1? We said that we need to change that by, if a virus touch it, we need to change that by 10th. So when touching virus by itself, when touching virus, change health by -10. minus 10, change health by minus 10. Yep, this is right. Okay, I don't want to waste more time on debugging on that one. I just want to finish all the functionalities. So now, like, I'm escaping. If I'm touching that one, I'm losing life here. But you notice when I'm reaching that level where I don't have more lives, I should die. I should die, and like now the lives is not greater than 0, so I shouldn't be getting the 100%. And the broadcast game over should stop the game. So I'll create another backdrop. Create another backdrop here. Oops. I will not be creating a custom one. And I will only put game over. Game over. Okay. And that should be like reddish. Okay. Bigger maybe. And with a background. And that will appear only, this is part of the code, if I receive, where's that one? When I receive game over, switch custom to game over. We will, as I told you, we will refine that game step by step, but this is switch drop back to game over. What's that one? Drop like the 2. Is that the 2? Yeah, drop back 2. What's that drop back 2? Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it. Change it to drop back 2, and this will be game over. And I'll stop all control, stop all codes. Let's try that. I'm escaping. If I'm losing my health, the lives, first life to say like boop, game over, everything stopped. And I can just hide everything, but like the game is over now. And most of the stuff, as you see, like we did it, we can just hide all those variables here just to make it more obvious. You see, like it's not that difficult to do like current digit. This is for the digit part, and let's remove those two. Again, we can just go to when this is starting. Okay, this is the code here for the backdrop, and we should switch the backdrop to backdrop 1, and that's it. Okay, now switch to backdrop 1. This is our game. We are escaping. We have health. Normally the health bar is not shown all the time. We will be fixing for sure, like this is the game over, and we will be fixing for sure the issue of changing like in different direction the health bar. But what I will be doing now is just controlling when that bar is shown. So when the character is affected, or there is a change on the value for the health, that should appear. Otherwise, it should be hidden. So, or let's say the transparency is not that high. So for the health bar itself, when I receive let's say here, if I when I touch the virus here, this is happening. So each time I'm touching a virus and the health is affected, so there's change, I will broadcast a message. Broadcast a message. New message. Health change. The health change thing, normally that health bar will be hidden. So I'll go to look and hide it. And instead of having that forever switch custom to blah blah blah, so when I see the when I received the show bar, what was the message that when I received the broadcast, which is health change, I should be showing that for a specific time, then hiding it. So this should happen, then I should hide it again. So first thing that I will be doing is show looks show. I can use show hide, or I can use the approach of changing the ghost factor. It's up to you. But this is like switch custom to and we're switching the health and going to that specific position. But forever is not the right decision here. We can specify number of cycles. I will repeat to a specific cycle, or I will repeat, let's say here, repeat maybe 100 times. Switch custom to health. Okay. So let's try that and hide again. After that, I should hide again. Maybe it's too short. Maybe we will need to put a bigger number other than 100 here. Let's try. So I'm here, no bar. If I hit something, the bar will appear. Oops, too fast. I should escape those before the game ends. So if I touch something and escape away, it's changing too fast. If I touch something and escape away, yay. Okay, I'm escaping now. It disappeared. Okay. We can depend on the repeat. If I touch and yeah. So again, I'm not making here a perfect game. I'm trying just to show you all the things. We will go over that game to make it perfect, like smoother, faster, like more responsive. But in today's session, I covered most of the stuff. I know that sometimes like we changed our decision on lots of stuff, but like you have now a way to take that decision. So based on your requests or based on your needs, you can just change the type of health bar, the scoring, if you want to show it in a specific way. Each part of the component on this game, you can like play with it till you reach the final situation that satisfies you. So mainly this is the main steps. We are going to have an extra session just to work on that game to make it more like to create the introduction like kind of screens, all the selections in the game, everything to make it more like professional game. Work on the performance, work on lots of stuff, maybe like some addition, some changes, and of course fixing the bar issue, like the health bar issue. That is also something that we will be working on. I might be changing the bar type to different type, because like this thing is might not be the best thing to go with. Anyway, so this is the main things for this session. Thank you, and I hope that wasn't too long.